I want to remind you where to go. When you go for, I'll find it myself actually. When you go to Google Classrooms, let's close this. You know the routine. I just want to make sure it's on the video so everyone can follow. You go to Google Classroom, you hit MAT3, and it comes up. And here it is, MAT3, this one here. You hit MAT3 with a nice picture there. You come down here and you go into Google Accounts. That's where we're going to have most of the work presented. You are in MAT3, this one here. We're doing simultaneous equations. And this is where you find the work. So I've got your work for Wednesday, the 1st to 7th of March. There's some videos to watch. There's a worksheet on words to equations. There's a practice assessment 1. And the video I haven't done yet, but I'll do the video on practice assessment 1 and 2 so that you can check that your work. But we're concentrating on the achieve level at the moment. You can go on and watch these videos, try these practice assessments for the merit and excellence. So that's where you find the work. You'll find that the recording lesson here is for equations on the 16th of February. I'll record the next one and I'll put it under here, so your lesson will be down here for you.
Morning, sir.
Hi. Hi. Was that something? Hold on, is there something wrong?
I'm nothing.
Nothing? Good. Welcome. Tassi's here. Cool. Okay. Nothing wrong? Good. So we'll continue on with that. So what I've got there is everything there. You've got your lesson recorded for the 1st of March. I'll put the one for the 2nd of March down here so you can check. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going over equations. All right, so I've got some equations here. We're going to do words to equations. So I've set it up. I'm going to spend perhaps 15 to 20 minutes talking to you, and then you can work by yourself or stay around and ask questions. If you have any questions, please put it in the video chat on the chat on the side. I'll just move this over so I can see it at the same time. So put your questions in the side here, or if I'm going too fast, or you want to know. Okay, so we've got everyone there. Yeah. So where do I go? Go back to here. Yeah, so now I can see both your chats and what I'm doing here. Right, so what we're going to do is go over these problems. We are forming 3 equations in words. I'm just going to go over those first. So it's forming equations from words. And remember, what's the key thing that we look for? Keyword, we look for what? Anyone? Totals. Thank you, Tassi. So we're looking for the totals. I'm going to get my pen working. What's happened here? Oops, here we go. Okay. So here we have a total of $21.10. Here we have a total of $17.40. So I'll do this in a different color. There's no total here. So this equation I'm going to call my balance equation. So what we have to do is we say, let C equal coffee. So we define our variables. That's obvious. M for muffins. And then you'll have A for apples. So you define those variables. And now we're going to make our 3 equations. So the blue equation, you've got 3 coffees plus 2 muffins plus 4 apples equals 21.10. Now that's pretty easy, I hope. And then you've got 2 coffees and 2 muffins and 5 apples. That's going to equal 17.40. For the balance equation, I'm going to have to draw a seesaw. This is the best way that I can work how to do it. And we've got there that 4 apples cost $1 more than the muffin. So your apples are going to cost, if we've got 4 apples down here, the apples are going to cost more than the muffin. So my muffin's at the top, and I've got 4 apples at the bottom here, in terms of not the weight, but of the value, and they cost more. So where do I have to add the dollar to make it equal? Do I have to add the dollar to the muffins or to the apples? Type it in over the side. Where do I add the dollar? To the muffins. Thank you, Tassie. Yeah, so we've got plus 1. And so we get, thank you, Neve, you're correct. So we get 4a equals m plus 1. Now notice these first 3 are in the form of c, m, a equals. So I want this in the form of c. There's no c. Then I put the m to the other side. It becomes minus m plus 4a equals 1. So this is equation 1, equation 2, and this is my equation 3. Of course, I don't need the OC there because we know there are no coffees, but we just got the negative muffin. Plus 4 apples equals 1. So there's our 3 equations. This is the key skill. I'm going to go over one more, the furniture problem, and then I'm going to show you how you can get into the solving, and maybe some people want to go into the merit and excellence at this stage. We'll see. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'll get my highlighter out. We want to have any totals. A table takes 17 hours more than a chair. Is 17 hours a total? Yes or no? A table takes 17 hours more than a chair to make. What do you think? Is that a total? Okay. See this word here, more than? If it's more than, it's not a total. So that one there is actually a balance equation. So at least you had a go. It's not an embarrassment to get something wrong. So please, I'd rather have you respond because then you learn. Okay. The next one. Is this 81 hours a total? Yes or no? One person, Lex, says yes. No one else wants to have a go. Is that a total? He makes 2 tables, 13 chairs, and a footstool. It takes him 81 hours. Yep, 2 people, I agree. That's a total. And next week, he's taking it easy. He makes 4 chairs, 3 footstools, and he works 38 hours. Is that a total? Yes or no? Zongyang, good. Got an answer from someone different. Good. So we've got our equation. So this one here would be 2t. I haven't defined my variables, but I'm saying t is table, c is a chair, and f is a footstool. Do I need to put the 1f? Do I need to have a 1 in front of that f? Do I have to have a 1, or can I just leave it as f? You're correct. I don't have to, but it does mean 1f. Then we do the same. We have 4 chairs. Oh, I have 1 table. So we've got a table and 4 chairs, and we've got 3 footstools, and he only works 38 hours. So working really hard 1 week. A table takes 17 more hours than a chair to make. So again, I'm going to put there. Which takes the more? Which goes on the left? The table or the chair? T or C? Who can tell me? Table or a chair goes on the left?
You're listening to your
video. Table, you're correct. Table goes on the left here because a table takes more hours. So the chair's on the right. So if I balance it to make it equal, where do I have to add the 17 hours more? Where do I have to add that plus 17? Not onto the T. Onto the chairs. Yes, we have to add it onto the chairs, the 17 hours. Then it will be equal. It will bring the balance up, so the equation will be equal. Then I can move the C to the other side. What will the C become when it goes to the other side? Hopefully you know this. Minus C, good. T minus C equals 17. So that's 0F. You can put 0F in there if you like, but I'm just going to leave it blank. Right, so no footstools. There are our three equations. Okay, type in yes if you would like me to do one more example, or no if you've already got it. Or yes or no. Right, Tussie wants one more example. Anyone else? Okay, good. Right, and the next example, I'm actually going to take it right through, and I'm going to complete this one, so the ages. So this is a bit of a tough one, and I'll eventually share this document with you so that you can go home, you can go over and check it. Okay, older than. Is that a total or is that a balance equation? No, it's not a total, correct? It's a balance. So we need a balance equation for that one. So again, I'm going to do the seesaw here. Am I going to put the mum on the left or halakha on the left? What goes on the left here, mum or halakha? Correct, so put mum on the left, halakha on the right. So which one do I have to multiply by 3 to make it equal? I need to multiply one of these by 3, halakha. So you've got that. So multiplying by 3 gives me 3h. So my equation is m equals 3h. I hope that's clear. And if we shift this to the other side, we would have m minus 3h equals 0. Okay. Halakha is 2 years younger than her brother Malx. Now, is this here 2 years younger? Is that a balanced equation or is that a total? Balance is correct. Good. I hope you others are understanding this. This is a balanced equation. And so again, I have to draw another seesaw. I'll do this one down here. And Halakha is 2 years younger than her brother Malx. So who goes on the left? Does Halakha go on the left or Malx on the left? Halakha is younger, so there are less ages, and the lighter age will go on the right. It is Malx that goes on the left. 2 years younger, so that means the ages, if you put candles on the cake, he might have 7 candles on his cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. That would weigh that side down. And this one would only have 5 candles on the cake. So you see that this is lighter in terms of ages. It's a really important thing that we think this through so that we can get it. So we put Halakha on the right and Malx on the left. Okay, now to make it equal, we have to make this equation equal now. And I have to do 2 years younger. So do I add 2 to Malx or do I add 2 to Halakha? Right, I add the 2 to the Halakha. And so I get m equals h plus 2. And here I've got m and then h, so I'm going to move the h to the other side. So m minus h equals 2. So there's my second equation, m minus h equals 2. Oh. Now this, Malx. Oh, I haven't defined it. I've got an m for mum and an m for Malx. That's not very good. So I'm going to say let x equal Malx. So then I'm going to have to change all these because that's just going to be too confusing. And I'm going to have to change those all to x. So that was x that I was talking about, Malx. So we've got maox there, x minus, so we've got x here, x minus h equals 2. So we need to have different variables. Let x equals maox, m equal mum, and let h equal lita. Now it's really important that you do that first, otherwise you get into trouble like I'm going to get into. Now the three of them have a total age of 77 years. Stupid question if I say, is this a total when it says total? So it obviously is. So how do I write that equation? The three of them, we start off with mum and maox and alaka equal 77. So I have my three equations, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to solve this one completely. And as we solve it completely, we'll see if you understand okay. I need a fixed box, so I'm going to draw a box in here. So I'm going to draw, now I'm going to insert, there it is. I'm going to insert a box. This will help me focus on what I'm doing. I find it very helpful. Maybe you don't need to. That's fine. I'm going to put the letters A, B, C, D in. For equation A, I just write it in. All right, so equation A is equation 1. M minus 3H equals 0. Equation 2, I've got to eliminate M from equation 1 and 2. Equation 2 already has an M missing, doesn't it? So I can just write that in equation 2. This is going to be nice and easy. This is B. We're going to have x minus h equals 2. And then to get equation C, I've got to eliminate M from 1 and 3. So I've got M minus 3h equals 0. And that's equation 1. Equation 3 is M plus x plus h equals 0. Now, do I add these two or subtract them to make the m disappear? Really important we know this, whether we add or subtract. Oh, 77, thank you, it's 77. I'm glad you're picking up these mistakes, otherwise I'm going to get the wrong answer. It's going to be embarrassing. Okay, so I've got 77 there. Do we add or subtract them? To get rid of the m. Will I add or subtract? Right, we've got some subtraction, which is good. Put brackets around the whole lot. We've got brackets around the whole lot there. Then do m minus m. Well, that's nothing, so that's what we want. Now we've got 0x here, and we're taking away an x. So on your calculator go 0 minus 1, and it equals negative 1. So I've got negative 1x there. Then I've got, for the next bit, negative 3 take away h. So it's negative 3 take away 1h. What does that give us? Okay, who's going to offer an answer? Negative 3 take away 1. Good, you've got it. So it's minus 4. Those of you who don't know, use your calculator. And what number goes here? Is it 77 or minus 77? It's one of those two. Which one is it? Tassie's given us two answers. Next has given us an answer. And it is negative 77. Okay, so we've got negative 77 there. So that there is the equation, which I'm going to call equation C. And that goes in negative x minus 4h equals negative 77. So our first equation has an m. The second equation has no m's. And the third equation will have no m or x. So I don't want any x's or m's in my last equation. So if I take b and c and join them together, I will find what I need to do. So let's do b and c. We've got c here. I'm going to write b underneath it. Here we go. Here is b. It's x minus h equals 2. Now, do I add these two or do I subtract them? Add these two or subtract them? Plus, you're right, Tassi, because negative x plus x will give me 0x is what I want. So what happens when I go negative 4 plus negative 1? Because that's negative 1h. What happens when I go negative 4 and negative 1? I get negative 5. So I've got negative 5h equals. And what happens when I've got negative 77 minus, oh, we're plussing them, aren't we? Whoa, we're plussing that, plus 2. Yeah, because it's negative 4 and h. Yep, we're plussing. That gives me negative 75. I've almost got the wrong answer. That is equation D. And with that, negative 5h equals negative 75. Now, all we have to do now is concentrate on the box. So I can forget all this other work that I've got over on the left, and I can just concentrate on the box here. And I start at the bottom of the box, and we solve. If we've got negative 5h equals negative 75, there's an automatic multiply here. So we use change sign, and we get h equals negative 75 divided by negative 5. And I've got a helpful answer down there of 15. So we know that halakha has an age of 15. Then we choose B or C. I'm going to go for B. And by using equation B, we've got x minus halakha equals 2. But instead of using an h there, I'm going to use the 15. Because that 15 shows me. So x minus 15 equals 2. Add the 15 to the other side. 2 plus 15. 17. Cool. Whoops, that's not, whoa, that's x. That should be x equals 17 or, yeah, 17. We already got the last one right. So let's change that to an x. That's not a h, that was an x. X. We just shifted to 15. So my ox is 17, and then we can use equation A because it's got the m there. So by using equation A now, I've got m minus 3h equals 0. And instead of writing the letter h, I put 15 in there. M minus 45 equals 0. Change the 45 to the other side. M equals 45. Cool, that's showing you working. Now, doing it in context. So we have to answer the question, and the question says, how old is each person? So how old is each person? We have to answer that question. I just don't want X in that, so I have to write a sentence. So my sentence would be, Alaka is 15 years old. And then you write, my ox is 17 years old. And we had mum is 45 years old. And then the other thing to do is to draw that geometrically. What does it look like? I've taught you draw a Y shape is the easy way to do it. Thank you. There's equation 1. There's equation 2. There's equation 3. We have our unique solution. That's called a unique solution. And if you want to color them in, you can. So let's do a little bit of highlighting. Here's equation 1 over here. That's equation 1. Equation 2 is at the top here. So you can see that like the corner of a bookshelf or something, corner of a box, and equation 3 is down the side. Okay, can you put in yes if you understood that question? I want everyone to respond. Yes if you understood. I don't see any yeses, I know you don't understand. Oh, that's good. Orion's here. Good, Ryan. Cool. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to show you what you need to do for the rest of this lesson. I don't think I will go on to the Merit and Excellence today. If you want to go on to Merit and Excellence, you can just look at what's on Google Sites there. Right, so on here, I have the Words to Equations worksheet. This is what we've been working on now. So I want you to do that by yourself. You don't need to do the practice assessment yet, but work on that today. Words to Equations worksheet. So when you click on this, it will take you to this document. This document here is what we've started, and I want you to actually answer the questions. So I've helped you with the first 3. You've got 2 more there, and I want you to solve them and draw them geometrically. So that would be your assignment to do, just those 5 questions. If you can do all those 5 and get these, you're well on your way to those credits, and it should be good. Okay, is it clear what we need to do? Yes or no if it's clear? Okay, if you are clear what you need to do, you can sign off and go and do it. I will be around for the next 15 minutes to answer questions. If you want extra help, thank you. So if you want extra help, stay on, but I expect you to go ahead and do it yourself. And if you want to do extra bits, look at the videos and so on. I'll be putting them up. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you. Well, thank you, Stephen. You're here. Good.